What's going on, guys? RGT85 here, and today's video is sort of a discussion video. I want feedback on this topic because this is a topic that I don't understand why there's a lot of negative connotation to it. And I'm not saying that there's a lot of people that are, against it, but there is a, strong contingency of people that are very against clone consoles. And it really perplexes me because I think clone consoles are fantastic. I love clone consoles. I obviously review a lot of them on this channel, but whenever I see, a major website post about a new clone console, there's always people in the comment section like, this is crap, why are they doing this? This is stupid, they don't need this. Oh, it's cheap, it's stupid, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, why? Why are you being so negative about this? And even in the comment section of my video reviews of different clone consoles, there's always, a handful of people that are like, this sucks. Why does this even exist? Just do this, just play the original. And I'm just like, I don't get it. So really today's video, I just want to talk about my history with clone consoles, what I think about them now, and why I think they're a good thing. And maybe sort of explore, the comments that I see on the video to try to figure out why so many people seem to be against clone consoles. So let's talk about some clone consoles. My history with clone consoles dates back to over 10 years ago. I remember living in my first apartment and searching on eBay just for NES games because at the time, I was getting back into retro collecting and seeing these like Japanese or Chinese NES knockoffs that were handheld. And I was just like, what in the world is this? Like, they look so awkward and gawky and like, the cartridge stuck out of them. The screen was like this big. But I was amazed by them. I always wanted one, but at the time they were like $150. And I was 19, 20, something like that, seeing these consoles, and I didn't have that much money just to blow, to buy a new novelty handheld thing. So I never got one. But as time went on, I started to get clone consoles, things like the Superboy, which is a portable SNES made by Hyperkin, things like the Retron 5. And I always just enjoyed playing them, and I always enjoyed testing them out and seeing what would work on them and what didn't work on them, and it was always just very fun for me. And I started doing reviews of those over on Nintendo Enthusiast, and then when I did RGT85, I wanted to do clone consoles still. I love doing news stories about clone consoles. I love doing reviews of clone consoles, and as this channel has grown, it went from me, trying to constantly reach out to people reaching out to me and saying, hey, we want you to review our clone console, because I do a lot of clone consoles on this channel. And one of the things about clone consoles is when I do a review for a clone console, I don't expect everyone to buy every single clone console that I review on this channel. That's why I did that NES HD clone console, three-way showdown, because I don't expect people to go buy all three of these. I don't expect people to buy necessarily any of these. It's just sort of information. If you're looking for something like this, if you're in the market for something like this, here's what it does. Here's how the games look on it. Here's what I discovered on it. And I think of it more as like a service to just help people out and raise awareness of the product and what I think about it and how it plays the games. And even with that video, I actually bought the Retron HD for that video, and I wanted to buy it even though I have a million NES clone consoles. I have so many, some that do portable, some that do only AV, some that do HD, and I still bought that because I wanted to play with it. I wanted to see how good it was or how bad it was and let you guys know about it. So whenever a new clone console comes around, I'm always trying to either do a news story on it or get my hands on it to review it. But it always seems like some people are so just negative towards the systems. Like I said, if a major website does a write-up on a new clone console, there's always people in the comments section dogging the console before they know anything about it. Whether it's a website like I mentioned, or even my own YouTube videos, people are like, oh, well, just play on original hardware. Okay, let's talk about original hardware. Most of these clone consoles that are coming out now have HDMI out so that you can play them on your HD TVs, because not a lot of people still have CRT TVs. Sure, us hardcore retro gamers probably have one, but I don't really see these systems as, you know, something that the hardcore retro gamer is going to just run out there and buy. It's more of the casual retro gamer, someone who wants something simplistic. And, you know, to me, it makes sense because A, they're not, you know, that expensive most of the time. Most of these consoles are under $100. So right then and there, you know, not very expensive. Some people want to be able to play on their HD TVs. So this is a convenience factor. When you're capturing footage, if you're a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer or any sort of content creator, and you want to capture footage of these systems, it's so much better to capture in HDMI than it is AV out because it looks so much better. And then you might say, well, you can always mod your system to play, to have, you know, composite or HDMI out. And that's totally true. But once again, that's sort of more of an upper echelon of the retro gaming market because that's, you know, can be very expensive. You know, HDMI mods can be pretty pricey to where these systems are not. And when you're messing with these old, you know, classic systems, you have to remember these bits and pieces, some of these are 30+ years old. So they're not gonna, you know, last forever. All electronics don't last forever. And although the NES was constructed very well, aside from the lockout chip, and the SNES and the N64 were constructed very well, eventually you're gonna have things break on these things, whether it's something as simple as a power button, you know, and these retro clone consoles most of them offer you a warranty. So right then and there, you're sort of covered, you're sort of protected. You know, even if something does go wrong on this, you have a warranty and you can have it replaced. And it you know, takes away some of the wear and tear of your old consoles because you're playing it on this. And I'm not even saying that, you know, clone consoles need to replace your original consoles. They're great secondary consoles. You know, maybe you want to have a game room, or you want to put something in your bedroom and have one thing in the living room. Maybe you're having company over and you want to be able to play some retro games, but you don't want them to use your original hardware, your original controllers, because you don't want people messing with your stuff. That's totally cool. That's why there's a clone console, so you can play it on there. And yes, clone consoles have varying qualities. Some of them are really good, some of them are not so good. And that's kind of why I feel like I exist, you know, on YouTube. That's one of my priorities of being on YouTube, is to inform you guys about these retro consoles, these clone consoles, so you could see what's good and, you know, see how they play. That's why I do a lot of gameplay when I'm doing these reviews. Now, another thing I hear a lot about is, of course, RetroPie. Now, contrary to popular belief, I do not hate RetroPie stuff. It's more of a tongue-in-cheek joke. I sort of hate how people just feel this necessity to comment on my stuff about RetroPie like I don't know it exists. And I'm like, dude, I totally know it exists. I'm just saying, you know, this is an alternative. There's nothing wrong with having choices. But when you're talking about the RetroPie, I think RetroPie is fine. You know, it's totally cool. It definitely has the convenience factor of these, you know, clone consoles. You can, you know, dump all your ROMs on it. And, you know, a lot of these RetroPies are pretty cheap to build, or you can have them pre-built for you and buy them. And it's like, cool, you know, a great window into retro gaming. But one of the things that RetroPie people don't really seem to factor in is the collecting aspect. You know, I want to play these games I have. This isn't just for show. This is to play these games. I want to be able to play these games. And that's one of the benefits of having a HD clone console, because I can take my actual cartridge and plug it into this console and play it on my television. I don't have to go through a laundry list of emulators. I don't have to go through a laundry list of ROMs to find the game I want to play. I just simply go to my shelf and I grab the game and I plug it in. So clone consoles are just an alternative. I don't understand why so many people have so many negative connotations towards them. The technology, the patents are all expired for these. There's no legality issues. And when you're buying a clone console, you're buying a labor of love, because companies are not getting rich off these clone consoles. They're making it to simply give you an alternative to play your games. And it helps them when you support these clone consoles. It allows them to discover other avenues of the gaming world. And, you know, small companies are sometimes, a lot of times, the most passionate companies. And another thing it does is it sort of increases the visibility of these new homebrew games that are releasing for these platforms, because it's really nice to be able to play these new homebrew games on a HD clone console and be able to experience the game in HD. That's pretty cool. You're helping out companies here. You're helping out the small person who's just trying to make a new clone console, trying to make a new video game for your classic system, because they want to give someone something different. They want to give someone an alternative or a new product. So I don't know, this is sort of a long-winded video. I really didn't know where I was going with this. I sort of just kind of formulated this in my head as I was going along, but it's just very interesting to me. I'm never gonna stop loving clone consoles. I will continue to cover every clone console I possibly can on this channel because I want you guys to be informed. I want you guys to know what these clone consoles offer, if I feel they're worth your money, if it's something that you should look out for, if it's something that, you know, even if I just help one person, one or two people, even just one person decide, hey, you know, I want to buy this, or hey, this product isn't for me, then I feel like I've done my job. You know, I'm a reviewer at the end of the day. I like to review products. I like to give my opinion on things. And clone consoles are a staple of this channel. I will always love clone consoles. I don't see why people don't love them. So if you are an anti-clone console person, let me know why in the comments section down below. And thank you for checking out this video. Regardless, let me know your stance on clone consoles in the comments section down below because I'm very curious. You know, it's a very peculiar topic to me. And thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I do lots of retro gaming stuff on here, lots of modern gaming stuff on here, a lot of gaming stuff, man. I'm the gaming guy. I'll catch you guys next time. Later.
RGT 85, RGT 85. RGT 85.